The following is a Joel Michalec production.
Let me explain something to you. Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me. And it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel Michalec, and sitting right alongside
is me.
Otherwise, to new listeners, known as Sharon.
Yes, lovely Sharon.
See, I didn't say this week, and you did, so this is working out really well.
I'm only saying it because you didn't.
All right, well, then
I'll be honest.
So that means we have a working pattern. If I don't say it, you'll say it. If I say it, you don't say it.
Right.
Okay, so this is like the third week, I think, that we're trying to get this whole lovely Sharon thing straightened out.
Yeah, but
I don't
like it.
I don't
because that means that I have to be lovely all the time.
Which
I don't feel like being lovely.
May I say that you are?
Okay, you can say it. It doesn't mean we have to believe it.
This is what you call an impasse, where you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
No, well, probably not.
There might be
after 20 some odd years.
There might be other people that think that you're not lovely, but not here in this kingdom
or studio, as we like to call it. Yeah.
Or
okay.
I thought this was the storage room.
I'll take it. Wow. That and
one of the many, right?
Office.
One of the many, yes. Storage office studio.
Right.
SOS, storage office studio. This is the SOS.
I like it.
There you go.
Yeah, we just high-fived each other.
Anyway, I guess
this is the new name of this room. The SOS.
I guess I should tell people how they can find us.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
They can subscribe by going to joelmichalec.com.
There you go.
And they can see the blog.
Okay.
And the news and everything. They can listen to the show there.
What?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is amazeballs.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
No, I didn't say amazing.
I know what you said.
I said amazeballs.
And so you have officially tagged the show with E for explicit.
No, I didn't. No, because, balls, the ones you play with.
Right.
The round ones.
So moving on.
Like a basketball, tennis ball.
All right. Locate us at Facebook at JM Talk and at Twitter at WQYB Radio.
Okay.
I'm mellow today.
I noticed. What is up with that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Wow. It's like your give hair is broken.
No, that's fine. It's just that I don't know, like I'm usually trying to structure this.
Yeah, and today we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants.
It's still structured. We're still here. This is what
True.
Do you think people are really listening because they can't wait to hear what news stories we might talk about? I don't know. I've heard more people.
People listen because of the way you and I are together.
More people have told me that it's us.
Yeah.
So we could sit here and just shoot the breeze.
Right.
And probably get,
like
3.5
if I were to do
the
show by myself.
That's tough. That's tough to do. And I'm telling you, after 12 years in broadcasting, that is tough to do.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm reiterating what you're, that it's hard to do it by yourself.
Right. For example.
But it's very easy for you and I to do it together.
And the time flies. Like, this is a podcast.
It really does.
If you haven't realized that because you're listening to a podcast, this is a podcast. So, for instance, today, part 3 of the podcast is already in the can because I usually do part 3 by myself.
Right.
And I think anyone that's listening would say that part 3 is much different than the rest of the show. I'm different without you.
Yeah, and last week, didn't I do it with you?
Last week? Yeah, you were here for part 3 last week, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought you would enjoy it, and you actually didn't enjoy the wombat.
No, it's not that I didn't enjoy it, no.
Oh, you didn't enjoy it. That's fine.
No.
It grossed you out.
Well, kind of, but, yeah, no. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that it was nasty.
Well, today involves a handgun and the anatomy, so you have to...
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But you missed that one because, as I said, folks, it's podcast. And you'll notice, if you're listening, seriously, you can tell me. I already know. Part 3 will suck. I suck in part 3. Because...
But then why do you do it alone?
Because...
I thought you said last week we were going to do it together.
No, last week we did do last week's together.
I know.
What I said was I would like you to be more available for part 3, but it doesn't always happen.
Oh,
There's other things going on. I get it.
Listen, let's get back to the show.
This is the show.
No,
Okay. All right. Anyway,
instead of arguing about,
I did have something that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
This really bothers me. We were watching TV yesterday, which we don't normally watch regular TV.
Right.
Usually we're on demand or on one of the services, right?
Right.
So yesterday I'm watching TV. We're getting ready to go out, and I saw this commercial for the Subaru Forester, which is an SUV. Mm-hmm. And it was talking about sensors, the sensors that are built in,
Mm-hmm.
And the commercial was geared about how parents worry about their teenage children just getting their license, being out there and borrowing the car or whatever.
And you and I can both attest to that.
Yes. And so in this particular commercial, they were targeting distracted driving, like teens checking their phones and whatnot. And so I'm assuming from the sensors they're talking about, because in the commercial, so you have this teen and she's looking at her phone, and then a sensor goes off and she has to quick stop on the dime pretty violently at an intersection before crossing into traffic. And the commercial's promoting these sensors. So presumably the sensor is somewhere in the cabin, and it probably registers your eyeballs when you come in. And then if your eyeballs aren't where they belong, then a sensor will go off. Now, what bothers me about that is the way maybe this is not their intention, but the way the commercial came off, it tells me that they're promoting their sensors by way of promoting teens being distracted by their phones. Hey, go look at your phone. It's okay, because the Subaru Forester will alert you when your eyes leave the road and there's imminent danger.
Right.
And I just think that lends itself to the laziness of society with this cell phone stuff. I mean, I'm always like, my goal would be, I don't want people being distracted and driving with these cell phones at all. If I was in a position...
Hence why it's against the law.
Right. Hence why we always mention that it's against the law.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand. Let's say it's not Subaru's intention to do that. You sold it that way in your commercial.
Exactly.
You saved the girl's life while she was looking at the phone because you have sensors in your car that will let her know. And
what if she's deaf?
Would she be driving? I guess she would be driving if she was deaf. Why not? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
But you see my point.
I see your point.
And it really makes me angry. It really enrages me. I'm enraged right now.
Wow.
I'm completely enraged.
I can't tell. I really can't tell.
I mean, I would not be buying a Subaru Forester. I don't
for that reason alone.
Yes, I don't want car companies to come up with ways to make people dumber.
Yeah, that's true.
All the way to the autonomous car, which still bothers me.
Right.
I saw a news thing today about a man who was traveling 75 miles an hour on a highway, taking a nap because he was in an autonomous car. And the car was driving. He was just in the driver's seat with the back kicked back. And there's a video or photo of him just sleeping behind the wheel.
Wow.
I mean, that's not the intention of autonomous cars, I don't think.
Yeah, I would think you're absolutely correct.
You know? So,
Wow.
yeah, we have enough problems on the road.
That's like putting a car in cruise and getting up and walking away from the wheel.
Oh, sort of like that guy who sued Winnebago how many years ago because he got up, he was driving a motorhome, a Class C motorhome or Class A, whatever it was, got up to go make a pot of coffee and crashed. Because he put it in cruise. Yeah. And he didn't understand, and he won the case because it wasn't clearly spelled out in the user manual that cruise is not autopilot.
Well, autopilot is not autopilot. Wow.
You know,
and he won.
We don't need...
That is amazing.
Right. We don't need help being made stupider than we are, or more stupid. Is stupider a word?
No.
All right. We don't need help being more stupid. By the way, we don't edit this podcast.
No, we don't.
You get what you get.
Right? And you like it.
Right? And you do. Because the downloads are going up, by the way. I know you're always interested in what's going on.
Yeah.
The download numbers are climbing every week, little by little. I mean, it's not like, we're not, top 5 million on iTunes, but we're top 10 million, I think.
Right.
But they're getting there. So anyway, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to talk about it, get your feedback or banter on it. I just, that commercial really bothered me. It wasn't that you have sensors, great. We can't escape that. Technology is coming whether you want it or not.
Right.
But promoting it in a commercial as if will save your life while you're looking at your phone, I think just sends out the wrong message.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. I agree with you. I do.
You don't always have to agree with me.
I don't always agree with you.
Okay.
But in this case, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Okay.
Beautiful thing.
I had paperwork because we wanted to mention the keto diet. And I don't know what happened to the paperwork, but we can still talk about it for a couple minutes. It's dangerous.
Oh, my God.
It's dangerous.
It is.
And people think it's good for you, and doctors are saying, no, it's not good for you. And I mean people who are really doing keto, not like, our daughter was doing keto, and she's like, oh, I started keto today. How'd you make it out? Well, I still had pasta for dinner.
Yeah, but
that's not keto.
It's a low-carb, high-fat diet.
Yeah, and it's the high-fat that doctors...
High-protein diet.
Right, but to get this high protein, you're eating a lot of fats.
Right.
And that's what doctors are concerned about. That's what doctors are warning about.
Exactly.
So, you can... all right. So, let me tell the folks. You remember 2 summers ago when I went on that 7-day... I did that 7-day thing. Tried out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I would call that my keto. And what I did, folks, was... If you think about it, let's talk about a male. A male is supposed to have... What is it, something like 75 grams of carbs per meal? Something like that? And no more than whatever a day. But, so what I did, I experimented for 7 days, and it was tough. And that's why it only went 7 days, because it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
But what I did is I had 0 carbs at breakfast. I was having, eggs every day with turkey bacon, which, by the way, folks, if you're afraid of turkey bacon, it's nothing but Spam.
Well, yeah, but...
It just tastes like Spam.
Okay, so it doesn't taste like turkey in a bacon.
Right. It tastes like Spam.
Spam.
Yeah. So
why wouldn't you just eat Spam?
Well, that's why there's no more turkey bacon in the house, and there's 16 cans of Spam in the pantry. So I had eggs.
He is not lying there.
I had eggs.
He is not lying.
And turkey bacon for breakfast, and then every day I'd have a can of soup and a half a sandwich. Either egg salad or tuna, remember?
Right.
And then I was getting a lot of fruits and eating fruits, snacking during the day. And then at dinner, I didn't care. Whatever we did at dinner, we did at dinner.
Right, but, eating a lot of fruits is not good for you.
Well, I didn't eat a ton of fruits, and I know they're bad for me.
I know that. But you would think, as a diabetic, you would think that the fruit would be a nice alternative to the junk candy that's out there, and it's really not.
It's not.
It's
my doctor,
worse than candy.
My doctor advises that I eat the fruits I can't stand. Watermelon, honeydew, all
ones that aren't high in sugar.
The ones that are like 99.99991 water.
Yeah, right.
That's the ones that he's talking
about.
And
that's why he's recommending that you do that, because you're doing a lot more water intake.
And I get it. I get it.
I don't pretend to be a doctor.
I know.
Although I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
Is that where you went? So when I did this for 7 days,
where I went.
I lost 11 pounds. But I didn't cut carbs out. And as I just described, I wasn't eating a lot of fats to get my proteins. You can eat lean meats and get your protein.
Sure.
Tuna fish, egg salad, those kinds of things.
Right.
You still get your proteins from those things without having to get all the fat. And but it is difficult to do. But we know at least one person on Facebook who is on a keto diet, true keto. And, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's not safe.
Right.
I can't imagine how, the Atkins diet. Everyone praises the Atkins diet. But the doctor that invented it died from his own diet.
Is that true?
That is very true.
Okay.
That is very true. He died of massive heart coronary or something like that.
And the Atkins is like what? That's a no carb, zero carb type thing.
Zero carb diet, high fat, high protein.
It is hard to get away from carbs, especially when like the other night we had kibasi and sauerkraut with mashed potatoes. Are you kidding me? I can't.
I know.
I gotta have the potatoes.
You gotta.
Because I gotta mix the sauerkraut and the potatoes together, squeeze mustard into it, mix all that together.
Oh, come on, stop.
And then down the gullet.
You're so gross.
So, did you have a final thought about the keto, or you just
that it's not healthy?
It's not healthy. That's right.
Right, it's not.
So, see,
this is what if you really want to lose weight, and I should probably take my own advice.
We should probably all take our own advice.
But if you really want to lose weight, cut out the sweets, cut out sodas. Eat healthier.
What sweets? I mean, like Mallow bars and.
Shut up.
And jellies.
Don't judge. I'm just saying, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I should cut all that out, especially. So anyway.
We covered the keto without that paperwork.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going with this laid back thing today.
Yeah.
And we've actually covered the story without the story. Wow. I'm wondering how much of when we come out from break, how much of this next story we'll be able to cover without looking at it, because we're familiar with some of the things mentioned.
There you go.
So we'll try it, but I have my safety net. That's what we'll do.
Right.
I'll try it, but we have the safety net.
Yes.
So anyway, to remind our listeners, it's the website is joelmichalec.com. And what is it on Facebook?
Joel Michalec.
No, it's
at Facebook.org net.
JM Talk. How many times do you hear me say that? Facebook is JM Talk, and Twitter, we're WQYB Radio.
I could hear you say it 100 billion times, but it won't stick in this god-awful head of mine.
See, well, Sharon has this amazing ability. She has the ability to ask someone what their name is, and while they're telling them her name, she's not even listening to them. It's an art, really.
What?
All right.
Did you just say something?
We'll be back with more after the break.
This is New York's Super Oldie Station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061. or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Joel Michalec Show. Joel Michalec here and Sharon over there.
Yes.
Just
why
hanging
I
out.
gotta be over there? Why can't I be over there?
Because I'm over here. I'm over here, so you're over there.
Yeah, but I want to be over there
If
and
you come,
be over
if
here.
you come over here and I go over there and we get on the microphone, I will say Joel Michalec here, and over there is Sharon. And you'll say, why am I over there? Because you're over there to me. Guess where I am to you?
Over there.
Right. And where are you?
Over here.
There you go. This is like having a Costello going on here. Who's on first?
Oh, my goodness. Did that just happen?
That just happened. That just happened.
Wow.
Boys and girls, the website is joelmichalec.com and the Facebook is JM Talk. I'll take care of that, don't worry.
Oh, thanks.
And the Twitter is WQYB Radio.
What's your bitchin'?
Yes. So also find out there when the show. Actually, if you open up the show notes, every show has what's called show notes, and that's where I type up a little synopsis of the episode,
Right.
followed by
A little blurb.
Yeah, blurb, followed by links of every single player you can subscribe with, service, player, whatever. And also on that list is all the stations, the list of stations that carry the show in syndication.
Right.
I don't know if that's really syndication. I call it syndication because it's a podcast and they're airing it, so it's like we're syndicated. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, that's...
Yeah, I don't know the
Just in case people aren't
technical
sure...
term.
People aren't sure, with just about every podcast...
Right.
You get a text.
Yeah? Okay. Wow, did you get all that?
I think so. So anyway, one of the things we want to talk about, which is interesting, and maybe we have some listeners that are doing it, but there are different ways other than retirement homes that retirees are retiring to. Now, I'm not talking about you're 65, you're just leaving the workforce. I mean, that could be the case, I think, for some of this. I'm talking about when the elderly are getting ready to go into homes, there are some that they're kind of taken back and taking life back. And I think this is great. I saw this a couple years ago after I was broadcasting the last stint and before this stint. So it was out there and I couldn't cover it. But there are retirees refusing to go into homes, elderly homes. They're living on cruises.
I know, I'm jealous.
I mean, think about that.
That's what I want to do.
Here's the thing, folks. So imagine, instead of going into a home, let's say you're healthy enough to do things. You can't just be like, well, I can't move and I wear, adult diapers. I need to go on a cruise. If you're active enough, you can do this. Think about this. You need what? Maybe 10 outfits? 10 or 12 outfits.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you got to depend on what. Well, yeah, maybe because they have laundry service. That's the thing.
Right.
You go on these cruises, okay? Now, the math. See, I said I was going to have this as a backup. Somewhere in here is the math. Apparently, it was quite expensive per day, and I'm sorry, it's not right in front of me. I'm not going to waste your time or ours flipping through the pages.
Right.
But the math was done by a guy who's planning to do this, and he did the math. The daily cost of just living in a home, that doesn't include the ancillary costs.
Right.
Versus the cost per day on a cruise ship. Now, you and I, we love cruising.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And I think we probably spend an average of maybe on the average, 125 a day for both of us on a cruise.
Okay.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Because we usually spend somewhere between, say, like 12 or 1,400, and I think, then maybe not much more than that. So let's say 125-ish a day. Now, what do you get for that? Yeah, okay, I got you. Stop it. So what do you get for that? You get all your meals.
Making fun of them, people.
You get all your meals. You get entertainment.
True.
Pool. Wonderful stops to get out and shop if you wanted to.
I know, right?
Laundry service. Turn down service. You know, your room is always clean. I mean, they come in and clean your room like 16 times a day. Mm-hmm. Fresh towels, toiletries, cable television.
Right.
You know, you get all these things. You know, what am I missing? Did I miss anything? I mean, you can go and gamble if you want, but there's games to play and
music to listen to at night.
Exactly.
Comedy shows you can go to.
The bars and taverns and sports bar if you want to go watch sports. You know, it is amazing, and you're paying.
It really is.
Let's say you're paying $125 a day. People are paying in excess of $500 a day to go and live in a nursing facility.
Wow, that's insane.
And they're not getting the food they're going to get on a cruise ship.
Right.
So if you're active, why not?
And they're not going anywhere. Here you go on a cruise, you're going to the Bahamas or Tahiti, or that's someplace we've never been, Tahiti.
Yeah. And the thing is you come back, you can arrange doctor's appointments and stuff. Okay. All right. You can arrange doctor's appointments for when you come back to your home port if your doctor is close to there or something, because the idea is you have to get off each cruise. Mm-hmm. You just pack up, you get off, you get back on.
Right.
Later that day, you're sailing again. You know that
absolutely.
It is, when you look at the price, it is quite inexpensive compared to. They do have a doctor on board in case you have emergencies or whatever like that. But that's one way. Now, another way that was introduced, I actually printed off somebody's blog. He's planning on moving to the Hilton when it's time for him to go into a home.
Wow.
Same thing. They have laundry service. They have indoor-outdoor pool. You know, they have a restaurant right on there. Free room service. You know, so
exactly.
People are calculating these different ways.
Cook the meals for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And
that's amazing.
Here's a third option. How about retirees? I have here in my safety net. I'm calling this is my safety net. It's not a desk today. It's a safety net, so I can grab the story if I need it.
Right.
But there's a couple who, after they retired, sold their house and everything they owned and bought a Class A, the big bus-looking RVs.
Right.
And they're RVing for the rest of their lives. They have 2 grown sons. One of them he loves the idea, and in fact told them that his house can be their home base. They can stop there, see their doctor, take care of things, get prescription, whatever.
Right.
Like a home base to stop at every once in a while.
Right.
And the other son thinks they should be committed. Well, and so that son's an idiot.
I can see both sides.
I can see both sides, but I don't really see the idiot side very much.
No. However, he's probably thinking
there goes my inheritance. Yeah,
right.
Being blown out the RV window.
Yeah, but that's selfish.
It is selfish, and I think that's what his reasons are. I don't. What other reason could he have? They're active. Let them go.
Yeah.
And they planned this like 8 or 10 years in advance. So they
saved every penny they got, apparently.
Well, you don't need to save much when you're going to dump everything.
No. You need to save money because you need money for gas, you need money for food, you need money. You know what I mean?
Right, but
if you do have to have a little bit of a nest egg.
But if you sell a house for a couple $100,000, you put and you make smart investments,
and you get a decent RV that's going to be
maybe they already had that
$50,000 to $100,000.
Well, maybe they already had that. Who knows?
Right, but my point is that could be why the other person is worried for them.
So you have that first scenario where seniors are cruising.
But then what they could do is stop at a city, get a job for, 6 months or so, and then boom, they're off again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All they need is a campground.
Yeah.
They're living in their home. But so you have these seniors that do the one end where they go on a cruise, they get to see the world.
I like the cruising idea.
I just read this morning about a 140-day cruise that takes you to all 7 continents.
Really?
Can you imagine that? Wow. I wonder what that cost.
A lot, I'm sure. However,
probably still cheaper than a nursing home.
Yeah, right.
What a way to see the world.
I want to visit Europe so bad.
And then you have this other extreme with these RVers. They're going to see this great country. They get to go to places they would have never seen all the years they raised their family.
And they can go to Canada and Mexico.
Right. and Central
and
America,
Central and South America,
and Belize. We went to Belize. Do you believe that?
I believe that.
Can you believe that?
I believe that.
But you're right. I mean, it's not just the United States. I mean, but there's a lot of that you can do, with quite a few years. And
didn't I hear that there was a bridge between Alaska and whatever continent?
Russia? No, I think that's like a proposed.
Not a bridge like one man-made. I'm talking about a natural bridge. That a piece of land that
in the Bering Strait. I don't think so. I
know there was about 100 million years ago when I was alive.
When everything was connected together?
Yeah. There was that bridge there.
I think you might be right. 100 million years ago, I think, there might have been a way to get from Alaska to Russia. Right. Before they were known as Russia and Alaska,
Yeah, we called them Hock and Flock and Block and Block.
They were Eurasia. I mean, if you want to have a geography lesson today, we can. I am prepared to deliver.
I'm sure our listeners do not want a lesson.
No?
No. I'm quite sure.
So you like the cruising thing?
I love the cruising idea. Can we do it?
Well, I mean, I guess we could.
I really would love that idea.
We would have to figure out what it costs for us to live. What about Molly?
We'll get special circumstance for her.
Oh, I know with what cruise line. When you buy your own boat cruise line, that's when you
there you
go. Circumstances.
Excuse me, everyone. I had some soda and I just burped on air.
I have nothing to drink. My voice is taking a beat, and I have nothing. No, I don't want. No. I don't want that.
Just to wet your whistle.
No.
You don't want to wet your whistle?
I'll leave my whistle the way it is.
All right, fine. My whistle's all wet.
So.
Wow! Look at the lines on the screen when I just whistled. The lines just went. Blah, 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 blah.
All the lines are going blah, 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 blah.
No, but it's very specific.
Are you fascinated with the recording equipment?
I am. Okay. I keep staring at it. And I look at, like, when you talk, how big the lines get because your loud is so booming. Okay.
The yin for the yang.
Yeah, go.
All right.
Sorry.
May I?
Yeah, okay. If you must.
So, could you give up coffee for 27 months?
No.
You sure?
Yes. No.
Because
I probably could, yeah.
Because I don't know if I know. I was okay with your initial answer because I don't know if I could.
Right.
Because I drink. So you have a cup in the morning. I'll drink 2 or 3 more cups during the course of a work day.
No, see, I don't.
And then you know me, 10 o'clock at night. If I'm playing my game, if I'm gaming, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, but only on weekends. You don't do that during the week.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of time to do that during the week, so.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah.
So anyway, why'd you ask?
Well, because this guy here said he saved $1,000 a month. Now, of course, he also cut out alcohol. He says he only has a couple nights a week, 1 to 2 drinks going out with friends. So he said between cutting that and coffee out for 27 months, he saved $1,000 a month. Now, I don't think he's saving $1,000 a month on coffee.
No.
Because even at Wawa, it's $1 a cup.
During their specials, yeah.
Right.
That's $1 a cup.
And at home in a Keurig, it's what?
Those of you who are listening and don't know what a Wawa is.
That is crazy because that's one of the things I thought of this week. I said, you know what we need to talk about on the show? We need to explain to people what a Wawa is.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
The people missing out.
What a Wawa is, we're not trying to say water in a baby tone. No, it's a convenience store called Wawa.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a town in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Called Wawa.
Called Wawa. W-A-W-A. Wawa. Now, it's a convenience store that compares to no other.
No other.
No other. It's so much better than any other convenience store. They sell gas cheaper than anybody around. And that is their motto for the gas stores.
So to give people comparison,
they will be cheaper than the cheapest gas around.
Now, to give people comparison, Wawa is in a couple of the states in the Mid-Atlantic and a little bit north.
Yeah.
And they have a couple stores in Florida where a lot of people from this area go on vacation or retire to. And there's plans for a couple dozen more in Florida.
Okay, and it compares to a 7-Eleven. If you know what a 7-Eleven is.
I wasn't going to say 7-Eleven. Let me tell you why. Because 7-Eleven doesn't usually have gas.
No, and
I was going to compare it to a Sheetz
store aspect of it.
Right. I was going to. All right. Okay. But I was going to compare it to like a Sheetz.
Yeah. Okay.
Gas and convenience store, or like a Royal Farms. Now, I don't know the reach of Royal Farms. Sheetz is sort of like a southern thing, so people in the south know what Sheetz is.
Yeah.
I don't know how vast Royal Farms is. I don't know if they're nationwide.
I believe they are.
Are they?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but let's say they are.
I'm pretty sure, like, when we went down south to go on cruises, we saw some Royal Farms out there.
Like, I think in this area, I think Royal Farms is their largest competitor.
Yeah.
But they can't hold a candle.
No.
The coffee is exquisite.
Yes, it is. They make their own brand of coffee.
And it's exquisite.
And it's out of this world.
Dynamite!
Or dynamite. But, yeah, their hot dogs are better. Their sandwiches are better. Their
Royal Farms, I understand, has the beat on chicken,
sodas are
though.
better. The what?
Or chicken at Royal Farms, I heard, is the best.
Yeah.
Not that Wawa has chicken.
I did hear that. The chicken at Royal Farms is really good.
Yeah. So that's what a Wawa is, and honestly, you know, if you're not anywhere near a Wawa, then you're bad. I mean, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. But if you ever if you're visiting out here in the eastern coast and you see a Wawa, please stop in
and get their coffee.
Yeah. Their coffee is amazing. And they have all kinds of coffee. They have your strongest kind, then they have their weakest. Oh my God, it's just amazing.
And then some flavored coffees and stuff.
Right.
It really is good.
Yeah,
and it's a damn shame you don't have a Wawa.
So and then they have a deli department.
Yeah.
And not in the sense where you get sliced meat. Mm-hmm. No, it's in the sense where you get your sandwiches and your chili, or they're just expanding that line.
They used to do sliced meat, although I don't think they're doing sliced meats anymore.
No, they're not doing it anymore.
And that's because they're coming in prepackaged now.
Right.
The sliced meat.
Right.
For the sandwiches.
Yeah. So, I used to work at Wawa years and years
ago. So did I years
and
years ago. Hated it.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Well,
I didn't have to slice meat anymore. But
you don't have to slice meat anymore now either.
I know. They were just phasing out when I was working there.
Mm. So, any whoosy whatty, I guess I will move on to the home stretch while you go tend to the grandson.
Okay.
So, anyway, coming up after the break, folks, we have... Oh, and there is our grandson. Coming up after the break, we have a new Wombat of the Week, and we honor a new hero. So, stay tuned.
Hold on. Wait. I want our grandson to say hi.
Okay.
Say hi, Victor. Say hi.
He's not going to say it.
Say hi.
He's waving. Okay.
Oh, he's waving.
That's what you get. I'll be back after this, folks. Don't go anywhere.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
Use why we need your donations?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel Michalec, saying, hey, thanks for sticking with us. Remember to stop by the website at joelmichalec.com. That's joelmichalec.com. From there, you can subscribe to the show on your favorite player. You can read the blog, check out the news. Actually, if you just stayed there on the homepage, you can listen to every single show right on the homepage, as we have a player right there for you to do so. So that's joelmichalec.com. Also, you can join me and Sharon on Facebook at JM Talk or on Twitter at WQYB Radio. So this, as you know, if you've been listening for a while, is called the home stretch of the show. And this is typically where we house our Honor Thy Heroes and Wombat of the Week, and sometimes a little extra. And this week on the podcast, I have an extra piece here that I wanted to discuss. And it's this news that came out on Friday of this week about Google Chrome. Google is urging users of Chrome, the browser, to update the browser right away to patch a 0-day vulnerability that is being actively exploited. And so this is really interesting because you don't usually hear these such things from Google. Of all people, Google is considered to generally be safe. And in the full-time world, I do technology. So, of course, I put this out on my Facebook and my websites and, to my peers and push the story around to make sure anyone that uses Chrome updates their browser. Now, typically, as you close and open browsers, close, open, typically, if there is an urgent update or any update at all for that matter, it will usually, as far as Chrome is concerned, I was about to combine the words Google and Chrome. That might have sounded interesting. But as far as that's concerned, it updates itself during a close and reopen process without you even knowing, because it does it in the background. It's very good at doing that. But this was a warning that was such like, don't wait for something like that. Do it right now. So we got the word out. But that also brings up another point, or a similar point, and I wanted to kind of push that envelope home. It's very important that you update your browsers. It doesn't matter if you're using Chrome or Internet Explorer. Of course, I don't know why you would use Internet Explorer, but Safari, Firefox, Opera, it doesn't matter what browser that you're using. Browsers are as vulnerable as any other piece of software or hardware. So it's important that you do that regularly. Now, also, Firefox will do the same thing. You'll close Firefox, and then you might, next time you see it open, what you don't see with Chrome is when you open Firefox, it'll tell you that it's updated. And we'll open the browser as soon as the update's done. But another thing, too, is if there's something critical, or if you've had your browser open forever and Firefox needs to get the update, it'll actually pop up a warning to do so while you're browsing. So that's pretty cool. These are great steps that are taken by the different companies that make the different browsers. But you should regularly check your browsers for updates. Because you don't want these bad guys getting into your computer. You get them into your computer, and next thing you know, you can't listen to my program. And that would be terrible. That would really be terrible. So, just like a public service type thing for you to check and make sure your browsers are always up to date. And if you're using an Android tablet or phone, you're going to do your app updates through Play Store. If you're using an iPad or iPhone, then you're going to do them through the App Store. Now, both types of devices have ways to make sure that the updates for apps are done automatically. So make sure you look into that to make sure that everything, including those browsers, are up to date. And especially on those mobile devices, because If a vulnerability got into your mobile device, they can take over your camera, they can take over your microphone, they can take over, there's a lot of things that can take over, and that is scary stuff. It really, really is. And I don't want you guys caught up in that sort of thing. And that's why I pass this information along. So if I find something I really think that you guys really need to know, I'm going to bring it to the program. And so that you know. So that's that. Update your browsers, okay? All right. Let's see what's next on the list. Well, it is the home stretch of the show, and that means Wombat of the Week and Honor Thy Heroes. Now, of course, Wombat of the Week, as you know, or maybe you don't know, and that's fine because I'll tell you about it. It's stupid people doing stupid things, and it comes from the news. Derived directly from the news. And you can join in on the fun of Wombat of the Week by submitting your story. Submit it to the show. Simply email a link to the news story of stupid people doing stupid things to wombat@joelmichalec.com or joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. Also a good source. You can also submit your story in a message on Facebook at JM Talk. So get me those stories. Not that we have a shortage of them, because we don't. And that's in itself scary. That we don't have a shortage of stupid people doing stupid things in the news. But we don't. In fact, this week's story is a backlog from last week. Because last week we had one that we just had to push into it. You know, this is the story that last week's Wombat. And if you don't know about last week's Wombat, you have to go back and listen to the show or subscribe. If you subscribe to the show, you don't miss anything. But this is the one that was beat out by last week. And this one is the news story is entitled "Man Accidentally." Let me try that again. Rewind. We don't edit here at the Joel Michalec Show. You get it all, man. Natural. Man accidentally shoots himself in the penis. Yes. That is absolutely right. Last week he shot himself in the penis by accident. Police in Marion, Indiana say that Mark Anthony Jones, age 46, and you can hear it, Molly is securing the studio out there. You can hear her, I'm sure. Because I see it on the meters. Police in Marion, Indiana say Mark Anthony Jones was carrying a 9mm handgun in his waistband when it began to slip. He reached down to adjust the gun and it fired. The bullet entered just above his penis and exited his scrotum. Ouch! There's no other way to say it than ouch. Police were called to the emergency room of Marion General Hospital to take the report of the accidental shooting. And Jones's condition was not released. Police said that Jones does not have an Indiana handgun license, so the case will be sent to the Grant County Prosecutor's Office for review. So here's the thing. Now, we reside in a state that has open carry laws, which means that we can openly carry a handgun as long as we don't conceal it. Of course, if you get a permit to carry a concealed deadly weapon, then you can do it that way. But my point of this story is, and I believe that Jones was out on a jog. If you know, this is the truncated story. A more elaborate story that I read, I think, said that he was out for a morning jog or something like that. And a lot of times, if I'm out walking the dog or out having a walk, I'm open carrying, and that's okay. But here's the thing, Mr. Jones. I put my handgun into a holster. I don't put it in my waistband. I always wonder watching those movies, any movie where you see a good guy or a bad guy or whatever have you, taking a gun and sticking it in the small of their back, taking a gun and sticking it in their waistband. And I often wondered how they don't shoot something off doing that. How do they survive? Because, it's just not secure. And some of the movies you see, like, it's not even tight. Like they put it in their waistband, and it's not even tight. So anyway, I mean, you can put it on the waistband if you're using an inner waistband holster, IWB holster. And it sits in there, and that way it's resting in something. Don't let it rest in your crotch or in the small of your back or even on your side. It's idiotic. Put it in a holster. Not only will that secure it from hopefully not going off, but it will also secure the hammer and all that. But anyway, so he has bigger problems though, because it's apparent that he may not have been able to carry the gun. I don't know what the Indiana laws are for carrying without a permit, but he looks like he's got some problems coming down the pike. So wear a holster, people. That's all. Wear a holster. Don't shoot your anatomy off. So because of that, he wins Wombat of the Week. He would have won Wombat of the Week last week had it not been for, the salsa dipper from last week. And if you didn't hear that, so you don't know what that means, then you might enjoy that, and you might not. So get me those stories. That's the Wombat of the Week, and I will take all stories. I could probably put a half a dozen out here on the air, but we don't have that much time. So we have to pick the cream of the crop. So there's that. And I'm dropping things and making a mess, etc., etc. So the next thing on the program that we do each week is called the Honor Thy Heroes. Now this is a very popular part of the program on social media, because what we do is we honor an everyday hero. Now typically we're honoring police or law enforcement or fire, or I said police or law enforcement. I mean, what is wrong with me today? Police or fire, EMS, dispatchers, someone that's in that first responder type arena, but it may not always necessarily be that way, okay? Because everybody is a hero. So, but as in no different from any other time, we do honor a hero this week, and it's actually out of Texas, Baytown, Texas, where a deputy saves a woman from a burning trailer. Harris County Sheriff Deputy Roberto Martinez frantically had run from window to window of this trailer home in Baytown, which was engulfed in flames. Early Tuesday morning last week, he eventually found the room in which Eloisa Martinez, now no relation to him, was trapped, and he broke through the window using his flashlight. He knocked aside a dresser that stood in front of the window, and he helped get the 63-year-old woman out the window. And he carried her, plus all his gear he's wearing, probably 25, 30 pounds of gear, and he got her away from the house into the yard. He says that he was happy that he was able to be there, and he refuses to be called a hero. He says, quote, any one of us would have done it, and most of us probably have done it at some point in their career, end quote. So both the deputy and Eloisa, along with her husband, were all hospitalized after the fire for smoke inhalation. There were 2 children who were treated and released at the scene. So apparently around 3:19 in the morning, a neighbor called Baytown Fire Department, reporting a lot of fire in the 6500 block of the street in the neighborhood. The fire was under control in about 45 minutes, and it is interesting because it was said by a spokesperson that the family can't live there anymore. And that makes sense because trailers, they catch fire, they go up. But they were surprised that a lot of property and stuff from inside the home was salvaged, interestingly enough. The cause of the fire is under investigation, but they believe it was a chimney that they had on their porch running overnight, which I believe is one of those small fireplaces that maybe has like a bubble at the bottom and then that real thin chimney that goes up, and it's for entertainment or keeping warm on cold nights or whatever, outside, of course. You don't want to use that inside. But Deputy Martinez said he would do this all over again. And yet he refuses to call himself a hero. And I don't buy that. I mean, I'm not saying I don't buy it. I'm amazed at this statement, and then yet I'm not. Because as he refuses to be called a hero after what he did, that sort of makes you a superhero, an uber hero. Because not only did you perform this wonderful act, saving a woman's life, you refused to be recognized for it. I'm just doing my job. Well, that makes you an even bigger hero in my book. And I'm sure your book too. And so therefore, that's why Deputy Martinez receives the honor this week on Honor Thy Heroes. And we thank him for his amazing support of the community that he serves. And they're very lucky to have someone like that on the streets. So we thank you for that. And now I want to invite you to send in stories of heroes. And as I said, it can be anyone from first responders to like an everyday hero. Everyone somehow, some way is a hero. They are. And if you come across a story, because these are a little harder to come by. I say this every week because I'm hoping maybe someone from the media hears this one of these days, listens to one of these podcasts. Maybe not. But if they do, and they say, you know what? He's right. We don't hear enough about these heroes. So they're a little more difficult to find than crazy people in the paper. So if you have a story like that you want to share, I'll be glad to take them. Absolutely. Absolutely glad to take them. And you can send them to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. Or, likewise, you can send us a private message at JM Talk on Facebook. So, that about does it for the podcast for this week. Of course, as always, I thank you for listening, and I thank you for subscribing. And I would say, if you like the show, tell others about it, and that way they have the same opportunity to subscribe and get all the episodes. So it's wonderful to be able to join you and you join me, and each week at whatever time is more comfortable for you, and we talk about these things. Don't forget, next week on the program, Craig Shoemaker, the Love Master, sits down. I say sits down. We talked on the phone. Sharon and I and he had a nice conversation on the phone, and you'll want to get that episode. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast. That way you don't miss that episode, which will drop next Sunday evening. So until next time, make sure you check the website and find out the great stations that this is airing on and how you can get subscribed with your favorite player. And I ask everybody to love and not hate. Hate's a horrible word. So please love one another. And we're going to catch you back here at the same time-ish next week. Goodbye, everybody.